Hey, everybody.
Welcome. It's Sunday. And I don't even remember the date. It's March 26th. Okay. It's been a weekend. What can I say? Um, welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. And of course, I have the lovely Miss Juno here that we can see her awesome gloves. And stick your hands out there, darling. Let them know you're there. And
I'm sorry. I had you running. I had an echo going on. You were on another, and I was. Anyway, hey,
no,
we're good.
am I echoing? Yeah, I was saying,
Sorry
put your
about
hands
that.
out. Let them know you're here.
My hands were busy.
Let me see. Normally, I try to run it on my other computer here so I can see if I'm glitching on anything, and for whatever reason, it's not showing up. So, but the thingy just went out, so it's just a matter of see. This is what happens when you're not completely prepared for what you're doing. Mute. Okay, there we go. Um, all right, now I'm up and running. I can see off to the side if anything needs to be adjusted here because there's like a 5 second delay or so um,
Okay.
from what I'm looking at on the StreamYard and what's showing up on YouTube. So kind of helps me keep it in perspective sometimes. Um, let's see. So today we're going to take the next step in the Jin Shin Jyutsu. Am I saying that right yet, or am I still
Jin
saying
Shin
that?
Jyutsu. Excellent. You're doing excellent.
Okay. We're taking another step there. And then once we get through that, if there's enough time towards the end, we're going to try to do a few destiny cards and a few oracle cards. So, uh, no real questions per se. We're going to go through. This is basically like a training session. I guess you could think of it. Um,
Yeah.
Excuse
Self-help
the mess
process.
behind me because I'm in the middle of doing laundry today. So everything's like piled on my bed right now. Um, and I figure, well, y'all have seen me be messy before, so it's not going to bother anybody. And all right, Juno, take it away. This is all yours now.
Okay. Well, this is like a little mini self-help session, so it'll build on what we did last time.
There we
And,
go.
if anybody wants a refresher or wants to get caught up to speed, if they missed it, I encourage you to go back and watch the previous video because that'll give you a lot of basic knowledge. And I'm not going to repeat. There might be some things that get repeated, but as a rule, I won't be repeating necessarily what we talked about last time. And I also wanted to tell you I've been praying and really sending lots of love and support for the people in Mississippi that were affected by those tornadoes because I was watching the storm chasers on that when that was going on. So
Yeah, I didn't. I don't remember. That was last night, night before last.
last night, I think. Yeah.
Last night.
Or the night
There was
before. I
something.
lose track. I think it was Friday
Yeah,
night.
I knew the weather was bad, and we were kind of waiting to see if it was going to be bad here.
Hmm.
But it was more north of us. We did get some rain and some wind, but nothing real major. And then this morning when I got up is when I heard that tornadoes hit in Mississippi, and then it was like, where in Mississippi? Because I got family there,
Yeah.
so it was all north of where they are. So
Yeah.
thankfully, none of them it looks like were affected.
That's good.
Um,
Well, I was thinking about you,
but
hoping you were okay. And
yeah, we were fine. I mean, we're pretty down, far down in the boot. We're
right.
I'm roughly, if you could go in a straight line, I'm about 30 miles from the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh,
Now
okay.
it's further than that to get there from here because you
Yes.
have to go around things and whatnot. So it's more of a distance. But if I could just pop on some wings and fly straight to the water, it's about 30 miles. Um, so when storms come in from the Gulf, it
You get them.
doesn't take
Yeah.
much for it to hit us. And
Yeah. Well, keeping
so,
that whole area in my prayers. I'm sure a lot of people are that.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, because there's, when you get up in North Louisiana, there's a lot of really poor communities up there,
Yeah.
same as in Mississippi.
Yeah.
a lot of communities that are really hard pressed just to make ends meet, and you know, they don't really have anything left to lose. But what little bit they got, you know, it doesn't help to get it all blown away by a tornado or a hurricane. So,
yeah. Well, we send lots of prayers out and
our
blessings.
thoughts and prayers to everyone there, and
yeah.
we got more rocking and rolling coming.
Yeah, I think today they're looking.
Yeah, another night tonight, and it's supposed to storm here later tonight, and again off and on tomorrow and Tuesday. So,
wow,
we'll see what happens.
You'll be safe. Okay, well, we'll switch on to moving on to Jin Shin Jyutsu, which you say perfectly well. I love it. You're a good student. You learn quickly. It's not an easy thing, even after 20 years of me saying it. It's not the easiest thing to trip off the tongue. So,
well, especially if you're looking at it to read it, because your mouth doesn't want to make those sounds looking at the letters. So
you can call it JSJ too. That's easy to.
There you go.
But I want to read the disclaimer just so that everybody, you know, we know where we're at when we begin this. It says this information is not to be used as the sole guide for healing yourself or others. The information provided is intended to complement, not replace, the advice of your physician or other healthcare professional. You should always consult with your physician or any other primary care provider regarding any pre-existing medical conditions and present symptoms. You should always consult a physician before starting or stopping any medications or course of treatment. So, and we, you know, this does not diagnose. This is just, you know, in a pinch or things that you can do to help yourself if you're dealing with something. You know, you may get even more profound benefit than what we talk about, but, you know, keep your minds and hearts open, and miracles do happen. So,
absolutely. I'll be the first one to tell that. I've seen too many things in my lifetime that there was no explanation for, but that was a miracle.
Yeah. So if you want to put up the slide, Sherry, with the diagram on there.
I am. Give me like half a second here.
Okay. We got you.
I am trying to, because to show how far behind I am on this, I don't have my YouTube chat up and running. So I have to literally type in everything. And,
well, you were busy right before we started. You had another thing you were doing. So
I did a recording show that I will probably be editing tonight and tomorrow. And then I'll have to send it to them, make sure they're okay with how it turns out, and then see if I have to re-edit anymore or not, and then I'll be able to drop it. So I'm hoping I'll be able to drop it by the end of the week, and I think everyone will like it. It's a little bit of a different bent, and it's on a little bit more serious topic, but
health related.
We'll go into that another day. So
yeah.
Okay, let's go into. We got that up. We're going to add this to the stream, and
there we go. So this is a diagram that shows where the safety energy locks are in the body. And safety energy locks, as Mary defined them, they are divine fluid beings. So they're not a point on your body or a spot on your body or anything like that. They're fluid. They have life to them. And each one is a sphere. So it goes above your body and into your body. So if you imagine that the equator is right at your skin surface. So that's how big a safety energy lock is, and goes deep and above. So that's why when we say you can, if someone was burned or severely injured, you could hold just above the body and not touch them, and you're still making contact with that safety energy lock. And they're like the circuit breakers in your house. So they protect you from an overload. They protect your system so that you get a signal in the form of tension or discomfort to let you know that safety energy lock is getting overloaded, and what you can do to bring your body back into harmony. When we touch two safety energy locks on the body, we're jumper cabling. We're not putting something into you or taking something out of you, or you're not doing that to yourself. You're just jumper cabling like you jumper cable your car to make the connection so that the energy can begin to flow again in a harmonious fashion. Each safety energy lock is about the size of your hand, like the palm of your hand or your fingers, you know. So a man who has larger hands would have larger safety energy locks. You can think of it that way, think of it in proportion. And the same thing if you're looking at animals, a smaller animal would have a smaller area of their safety energy lock. So, but you know, you can be within, you don't have to be necessarily right on top of it, pinpoint like as in acupuncture, to still make contact with it. And usually you can tell the bullseye when you've got it because you'll feel more tension or pain at that point when you press on it. That's how you know you're right on your bullseye.
Cool.
So if you just, okay, they're the keys to the kingdom because they unlock the flow of life energy within the body, mind, and spirit. So what's really interesting about that statement is I had about, I don't know, within the last month, I had 3 readings within 10 days and the focus or dreams or whatever that came through, and it was all about keys. And then when I was doing my notes for this and ran across that really stuck out to me as being really important. These are the keys to the kingdom of bringing harmony back into your own body. So it's, you know, we look at the body differently than the way the Western medical system looks at it. So just by placing your hands on the safety energy locks or holding the fingers or whatever I tell you to do is helping to, you know, bring your body back into harmony. So if you want to go to the next slide, Sherry, that shows the hand.
Gotcha.
Here we go. Now this, last time we did where we showed the 5 attitudes, the worry, fear, anger, sadness, pretense or trying to. So this is something else that you're going to find out that your fingers do. There's so much power in each one of your fingers. So if you hold your thumb, that helps stomach and spleen. And stomach represents reason and intelligence. Exactly, Sherry. Perfect to demonstrate. And the spleen is the gateway for solar energy. And here's something I encourage you guys to do. You don't have to make it bigger right now. I'll show it later, Sherry. But this is like I took my hand and traced around it, and then I just started writing in these things. So this is something if people want to, it's good exercise to do it. It helps you get it into your mind, you know, if you draw your own. So you can just get markers out and write things in different colors if you want. So you can just fill out your own hand, just on a regular piece of paper. Okay, so then we're moving on. We go to the index finger where we have kidney and bladder. So you can hold either one, you know, and you can hold however you want to hold that finger, or any of them. And you can get in there and pinch in detail, you know, and go like move a micro movement, and then you'll go another micro move. Oh, and then you find a tender spot there. If you find a tender spot, hang out there. So for kidney and bladder, kidney is life essence for individual development. And bladder takes away our tears and fears. So this can be helpful. You can see how this can be more than just thinking about the actual function of the bladder, you know, what it does physically. You can think about it on the emotional and spiritual level. And the bladder flow is like the janitor of the body. It runs all the way up and down the spine, like it really cleans out your whole system. So just by holding each finger, you're harmonizing that. See how much effect you can have on the well-being of your system. Then if we move on to the middle finger, that is for liver and gallbladder. And liver binds the soul to the body. You know, I think it's in India and some cultures, like at the wedding, they don't say, I give you my heart. They say, I give you my liver. Because it's associated more with the soul. So, you know, different cultures have different ways of expressing things. And the gallbladder is the body of objective thought, controls men's personal decisions and mental reactions. So you can see why we use this to harmonize the emotion of anger, the attitude of anger. You know, when we're
Yes,
angry.
everybody's favorite finger to show off when they're ticked.
Yep. And so next time you get that, you know how Linda G always talks about we're not supposed to send negative energy out to any particular person and whatever. And if you feel that anger rising up because things are getting intense, hold your middle finger and harmonize your own anger, because feeling that anger, excessively is not healthy for you, and it doesn't help the other situation either. So you can really do a lot of good for the world just by holding those middle fingers. If we move on to the ring finger, we have lung and large intestine. So from the lungs, the record of man's every thought, word, and deed passes into the blood to be carried to seed. So that's a fancy way of saying, be careful what you wish for. Watch what you say, because you're bringing it about. Realize the power in your words, because it will manifest good or bad depending on what you're focusing on, right? And even just thinking it, not just saying it. And you think about that with the lung, we need our lungs in order to speak, right? We need to have that air pushing through, and that's how we also, when we inhale, then, the air, the oxygen goes into our bloodstream through the lung tissue, correct?
That's it. And it's the same when you're trying to calm yourself down or to center yourself. You
Yep.
tend to take deep breaths and then hold it for a second or two and then let it out slowly.
Yes.
And as you do that, you're slowing down your heart rate and your blood pressure. You're helping to lower it down a little bit. It's a
Mm-hmm.
calming technique, which is why so many people use it, especially when it comes to meditation or just anger management.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of things of just taking that deep breath and holding it for 1 or 2 seconds and then slowly letting it back out again.
And
It
I've
helps
learned to
to,
let it out, exhale longer than you inhale for, because it's about getting rid of toxins. Is
and
the really
I honestly don't know if it really matters, but years ago I was told that when somebody was telling me that whenever I'm trying to calm myself down by doing the deep breath, is you breathe in through your nose and then you blow it out through your mouth. And
uh-huh.
so I don't know why that makes a difference, but that's how it was explained to me. So
Mm-hmm. I've heard that too.
um,
I've heard that too. But it's really important. We don't, if you're constantly inhaling, okay, and you don't ever fully exhale and relax, when you inhale, excuse me, your diaphragm is pushing up on your lungs, but also on your heart. So if you don't fully exhale, you're not taking that pressure off of the heart, which is part of the reason why we have increased blood pressure, feel that discomfort. So really focus, especially I would say the next couple months with everything we're going through, take a few minutes out every now and then during the day and just do 3 deep breaths, like Sherry said, and exhale longer than you inhale. And you're going to find out how much better you feel. And, it's going to help you all around. Um,
well, I know with myself personally, whenever I do it, whether if it's to calm myself down because I'm ticked off or just because I'm exasperated or whatever the reason, I will mentally count to 5 as I draw in my
yep.
breath, and then I'll count to like 3, and then I'll count to 7 or 8 when I release my breath. And
Excellent.
just a simple little, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, and that kind of thing. It just gives you time to refocus on your breath, and which is something that I'm slowly learning more and more about how important it is with meditation and everything, is focusing on your breath. And so just some little things that I've been taught and told over the years. So um,
Yes. Yes. I think that's excellent. And thanks for restating those, because it's sometimes we might know something and then we get out of the habit of it, and it's good to have the reminder of,
yeah,
of that
exactly. Yeah.
information. So then next we're going to, excuse me, move on to the pinky finger. And the pinky finger harmonizes heart and small intestine energy. And the heart is the body, is the heart, as the oak is in the acorn. The body is in the heart as the oak is in the acorn, which is really profound and tells you about the importance of taking good care of our heart in all ways, not just the physical part. So if you want, anything to do with the heart, uh, like, they would say, I think I've talked about this maybe in a prior show, but if someone is having a heart attack, you can keep them alive till the medical help comes. I mean, do the CPR and whatever else, but if you have somebody holding onto their left pinky finger, and you can really put pressure in there, and you can also do it where you've got your index finger in between the pinky and the ring finger, and just squeeze as tight as you can. Okay, keep someone alive. This is emergency stuff. This isn't instead of going to your doctor if you're having heart trouble or chest pain. I don't mean that at all. You go get medical help.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
but if you need to help yourself in between, or to help have a healthy heart, hold that left pinky. You can do both pinkies, but the heart's a little bit more on the left side, so the energy gets there faster. Okay, it'll still get there with the right side, but just takes a little longer.
I would say think of it as you would doing the Heimlich maneuver. If somebody's choking, they still need to go see medical help, most likely,
Right.
especially if it's really bad. But that precious 4 or 5 pumps that you do against them or something to get their airway clear,
Right.
is going to mean a whole lot. It's the
Right.
same with learning CPR. If you just know the basics of how to do a few heart pumps and a few breaths, even if you only do it a couple of times, there's a real good chance that that person's going to get saved waiting for the ambulance to get there than if they're just laying on the ground and, well,
Right.
it happens when it happens.
Right.
So,
And these things might come in handy. Say you're a hiker, or someone that's out on their own a lot, and you encounter a situation. Maybe you don't have medical help right there immediately. These are things that can help you, kind of like first aid type ideas. So, and then the other thing about the pinky finger is small intestine, and the small intestine is the vehicle of illumination. So we're always talking about wanting to be illuminated, and how we're going through this ascension and everything, and you start to realize the importance of the small intestine. And the small intestine in our digestive system is where things are broken down and sorted out. So you can relate that to if you've got, like, what do they call that? Like monkey mind, where your thoughts go round and round and round and round. Well, that's like a function that's related to small intestine. You keep sorting things out and sorting things out. So if you tend to, have your thoughts run away with you, or have anxiety and things like that, hold on to either one of those pinky fingers, preferably one and then the other, to keep it balanced. But that can help you. And also, how we take these words literally. If it is the vehicle of illumination, if you're wanting to become more intuitive or grow those skills and abilities, hold on those pinky fingers and focus on the illumination part of that. Okay. And then you're going to see a word there that probably most of you are not familiar with. So, can you guess what umbilicus is, Sherry?
I'm sorry, say that again. I was dealing with a troll.
Oh, okay.
We must be moving up in the world. We got a troll. We got them early, too.
No trolls in Jin Shin Jyutsu.
So I'm sure somebody else will finish them off there, but I just wanted to get them.
There you go. We're holding our middle fingers about those trolls. We'll get them to go
there you go. Be gone, troll. Be gone.
There you go. It's the troll slayer. So do you see that word there? That umbilicus? Can you guess what that means?
That would be your diaphragm here.
Well, your umbilicus is like your umbilical cord, your belly button area.
Your belly button area, yeah.
So that's where another major organ flow safety energy lock is in the body, and that is the guardian of all the organs. So you realize how important that is, that area. And the other one, and there is the diaphragm, the source of life itself, because it's that diaphragm, ebbing and flowing, right? Pushing up and going back down, that pushes the lungs, to push the air out, and then it goes down to let the air in when we inhale. So
exactly.
so I want to explain what that word is, because I've never heard of umbilicus before I took Jin Shin Jyutsu classes either, but maybe some people out there have.
I know I'd never heard it before. So, and I was in the medical field for 30 plus years.
So just think of umbilical cord, it'll come back to your belly button. I don't know the name in yoga. Is that I'm not that versed in it, but maybe somebody can pop up with what I'm trying to say there. I know there's triple heater, but that's a little lower. But anyway, that belly button area. Okay. So then what I wanted to share, I've heard that a lot of people are going through dealing with COVID and, long COVID and the symptoms, or they have a cold or the flu, there's the symptoms kind of overlap, right? So I thought I'd give you guys some ideas if you yourself, or if you know somebody who's going through these things and dealing with these symptoms, I just thought this stuff might be kind of helpful. So that's what I thought I'd focus on today. Does that sound okay?
It works for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I know several people dealing with long COVID. So.
Okay, cool. Well, maybe we'll give them some relief, the things that they can do. Now, this is something that you can do on yourself. And if you're not feeling well enough, if you have a family member or a friend who's kind enough to lay hands on you, they can also do this. You can tell them where to put their hands. These are very simple. Okay. So fever is something that I know, has been an issue. So to help with fever, you can do this on yourself, and you would just hold the back of the calves of your legs, the part between your knee and your ankle on the back of your calves.
You want me to go back to the previous?
Yeah, that'd be good. Thanks. Sorry.
Let me go back to the previous. There we go.
Yeah. And so you can see there between the 8 and the 24 on the left-hand side of the diagram, those safety energy locks. Just place your hands gently, and hold the backs of your calves. Now, if you weren't feeling well enough and had somebody do this and they were standing, at your feet, then they would just put their hands, this way so that their fingertips are pointed towards the top of your head, right? But if you're holding it on yourself, just hold it as comfortable. This is good for anything that has to do with the skin. This can help hot flashes. It can help hives and rashes, anything to do with the skin. Can help regulate your body temperature. So that's a simple thing to focus on.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah. So this is, take these simple things and apply them as they come up in your life. It doesn't have to be just for, COVID or cold or flu. If you ever have a fever or anything on the skin. And everybody probably knows by now that our skin is our largest organ. So if our skin is showing us something different, then that's indicating something else that's going on in the body where it's out of harmony. Okay. Headache. It's another thing I've heard. There's really bad headaches that go along with this. So holding the little toes can help headache. And here again, if you're not able to reach your toes, but you have somebody who's kind enough to want to help you, and what I would encourage you to do is work through each one of the toes and even get, in between the toes, because a lot of times you'll find the tender spot is right there in between, and maybe not this way on the top or the bottom, but get in there, on whichever toe it is, wherever you find it. When you go to work and try to relieve a headache, it's best to go to the feet, because if you work right on the head, you can make the headache worse because you're bringing more energy up to the head. So if you
one of the pluses of paying somebody to do a pedicure is most of your pedicure nail salon people, they don't just slough off the rough skin and paint your toenails. Usually you get a foot massage in the course of it, and they go through all your toes and between your toes and the instep and all of that area that can make a huge difference. I mean, I've gone in before with a major headache and went and got a pedicure done, and by the time they're through, my headache is long gone, and I'm relaxed and feeling good. So,
and by holding the feet, you're drawing the energy from the upper body to the lower body. So there's a lot of ways, and those people that are doing pedicures, I'll bet most of them don't know what Jin Shin Jyutsu is. They don't even realize, how they're helping. So you don't have to know the label for it. Just know that it's helping. So I think that's a great point, Sherry, about the getting a pedicure.
Oh, I
If
meant to go get one yesterday, and then I got sidetracked with something else, and then I found a pair of jeans on sale, and I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy jeans."
Yeah, lucky you. There you go.
I don't own a pair of jeans. Somebody was teasing me the other day like, "You don't have any blue jeans?" I'm like, "No, I don't." It's hard to find them that fit right. So,
Yeah, I don't have any either.
and I just happened to find some on sale, and I thought, well, let me go try on a pair and just see. And wow, they fit really good.
Oh, you got to grab those because it's a
So I was like,
challenge.
okay, pedicure can wait till next weekend.
Yeah. Well, now you can hold your own toes and you can give yourself some relief that way too.
That's it.
That's
That's
what you
it.
do. So at the onset, if you feel a headache coming on, okay, and it's not really, it's just kind of creeping in there, hold your thumb. That can keep that headache from actually really going full blown. Okay, so your thumbs are the leader of the parade there. Okay, remember all the power that's in that thumb. So if you're starting to kind of get that icky feeling, I think I'm getting a headache, hold your thumbs. And
Yeah.
the longer the better. If all you've got is a few inhales and exhales of time to do it, then do that. If you have longer, do longer. You know, if you worked on your hands and held your fingers an hour a day, you can break it down into 10-minute increments or whatever and work each finger. You know, it will really benefit you, but do what you can. When I'm riding as a passenger in a car, I'm standing in line at the grocery or watching TV, I work through my fingers a lot of times because I got to have something to do.
Yeah, I,
Okay.
I do it. I was not even conscious of the fact that I tend to do that when I'm, like you said, watching TV or if I'm sitting in traffic or.
Uh-huh.
And now that I'm more aware of it, I catch myself doing it, and I thought, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. That works on this or that works on that. Just
Yeah. And you're
but
wiser than you know. You actually know this stuff. You just forgot that you know this stuff kind of
right.
thing. Right?
Hence why babies suck their thumbs.
That's right. They're harmonizing. They're so smart. They know the one place. That's the main one. So nausea is another problem that's related to these conditions. So cross your hands and hold the inside of your knees. So you don't have to demonstrate. That might be hard for you to show, Sherry, but I think anybody, just cross your hands and hold the inside of your knees, or you can go like a third of the way up the inside of your thigh, and you'll find a tender spot there, and that's where you want to hang out. And you can get in there and you use pressure with your fingertips, or you can just palm it. If you're really nauseous, you probably just you're everything you can do just to get in the right position, and that's all I can do, just hold my palms there. That's fine. And this is the Safety Energy Lock 1, which is the prime mover, which is it gets everything in your system back in harmony. This is also good for headaches. Each Safety Energy Lock does a whole lot more than just the one thing we're focusing on today. But I just want to give you some easy tips to handle each thing for now to get you started with something. Also good for someone who's pregnant and got morning sickness. This would be another thing that they can do. Cross the hands and hold the insides of the knees or just like part way up the thigh. I know a lot of times when I really don't feel good, I lay on my side kind of like in fetal position, and it's just natural to put cross my hands and place them on the inside of my legs there. Really helps. So for
I never
lungs,
thought of doing
you're
that. Yeah,
sorry.
I said I never thought of doing it like that, but
Yeah, you can do, whatever's comfortable with these things. This
right.
is not about being, uncomfortable or pretzeled up or anything. Because if you're pretzeled up, you're not relaxed, so you're not really being that effective with it. Okay, you want to be in a good relaxed state. So lungs are another part of this. These things we were talking about with breathing issues. So we're back to the diagram. You don't have to go back to the diagram with Hannah, but you can if you want. To hold the ring fingers helps the lungs, right? And then the lung was about sadness or grief. So this finger is very important. And again, you can get in there and you can detail it. You know, if you're feeling your lungs are really congested, you know, see if you find tender spots in those ring fingers. If you do, hang out there till that tenderness releases, because it will. You know, it might take work on it, you know, and you might find that, okay, you know, it's like peeling an onion. You hear these analogies in a lot of other modalities. You know, you might release it for a little while and then, now I found another one. I moved a micrometer away, now I found another one. It's kind of like coming off in layers. So anytime you've got any difficulty breathing, shortness of breath, it hurts to breathe, any of that, or you just want to breathe, you know, be more like if you're in meditation, is like Sherry was talking about, doing those 3 inhales and exhales. Hold your ring finger while you're doing it, and you're actually boosting that meditative process also, the benefit of the breathing.
Oh, very good. Yes.
Now, I understand that a lot of times there's a loss of taste that goes along with COVID, sometimes with a cold too, if you get congested. Index fingers help get your sense of taste back. I apologize. The neighbor's dog is barking. It's making my dog bark. But
I thought it was one of my dogs at first.
they're probably all be barking. Everybody at home, all their dogs are barking. I don't have a finger to hold for if your dogs are barking, other than the middle one.
Yeah, that would be a middle one.
So just hold you can just grasp it, or you can get in there, like we said, and detail it, or you get, however you want to focus. You can really play around, like, and extend your thumb down into your palm. That brings in the energy of the diaphragm and the umbilicus. Whatever feels comfortable for you at the time. But that, if you work on that, and it might help you get your sense of taste back more quickly. And then we think, well, what goes along with our sense of taste is our sense of smell. And what helps our sense of smell is our little finger. So, either one, right or left, you can work on that. And as I understand it, each nostril is dominant for something like 90 seconds at a time. So actually like if you're wanting to inhale essential oils, you would hold one nostril and then inhale from the other side, if you get the bottle close to under your nose, and then switch to the other side. This is another way of getting some benefit. Coughing is caused when fire and water are fighting in the body, because we have the different elements in our body.
Yeah.
So for coughing, I was telling Sherry before we started, hold your safety energy lock 13s, which they're right above the breast area. They're actually like on a line right above the nipple line. And everybody at home, if you want to place your hands there and feel around, you find a tender spot there. And pretty much everyone has one. And that's related to our heart chakra. So this is, if we've been really hurt emotionally, we're holding any kind of emotions in, that this can get really, really tender. So to really help with coughing, bring your fingers closer to the center, and you kind of space them out like this. Your fingers a little bit apart, not closed like this, a little bit apart, and have them rest on the insides, in between each one of those ribs, like the intercostals of your ribs towards the sternum.
Oh, that was on your back, right?
No, on your front.
On the front that we
on
talked
your front,
about.
on the sternum.
Yeah.
Like I showed you. Yeah. Up above your breasts.
And then right up in
there. Yeah. And if you bring them in close, yeah, exactly. And the sternum is like the fence post that protects our heart and our lungs and our diaphragm. But if you're really having a coughing fit, you can try this. And if focusing the fingers and looking like to get in between the ribs is too difficult, or just beyond what you want to do, just rest your hands there, and that will help also. Just peacefully rest your hands on your chest, and that can help you with coughing. So that is for a dry cough. Now, for a cough with mucus, you can hold your middle fingers. Okay, so if you're really, there's a lot of times after you kind of get over having the cold or whatever, you end up with a dry cough. That's when you can do what I was showing you with the center, the Safety Energy Lock 13. Maybe go back to the diagram, Sherry.
Yeah, let's go back to the other one. There we go.
Can you show them with Safety energy lock 13 on the front of the body, the one on the right hand side.
No, 13. Yeah, that
Yep.
was right
Yep.
in here. Yeah.
Yep. So those are two things that you can try for coughing. Okay. And like I said, these are going to be good for other things too. Like one of our viewers was asking, she wants to get pregnant and wondered how to help that come about, that miracle. And it's the same thing to hold, put your hands right where Sherry had them over those 13s, because that opens the heart. So now for the flu, what you can do, if you look on the back of the body, on the diagram on the left-hand side, safety energy lock 23 is right at the base of the rib cage there in the back, kind of like how runners do when they stop running and they stand there and they've got their hands on their back, and they're breathing in.
Like right
there
here.
you go. Yep. That's safety
above
energy
your
lock
waistline.
23. So this is really good if you've got the flu or any of these conditions, because that's where your kidneys and your adrenal glands are there. So this is a way to help harmonize that energy, to help bring that in, to bring you some relief. And I think we talked about this on the last show. If you have a stuffy head, remember the one I told you about in front of the shoulder, that in the front of the body where the arm meets the torso, in the front of the, like right up from your
That was this area,
line.
like right in here.
Right up from your armpit line. Yeah. And if you put your thumb,
you can do it this way, or you can cross it.
Yep, either way. And you can go up that whole line up to the top of your arm, and where, up to your shoulder, and you find out where that tension is. And you've got a stuffed head. If you hold right there at that line going straight up from the armpit, you'll find a tenderness that can clear your sinuses out. So that's also really, really powerful. And a sore throat from colds, flu, and COVID is back to the 13s again. This is very powerful. So you're going to learn to love the number 13. It's like my favorite number. I love 13 because I know it's so powerful. It's related to the heart chakra. It's about love thy neighbor as thyself. That's the meaning of the safety energy lock 13. So anytime we're feeling out of sorts about anything, or we're, maybe somebody said something that hurt our feelings or whatever it is, we're getting all up in our I know better and, our attitudes, hold on to that area, onto the 13s. Really, really can help harmonize that.
Rose just said this. I just put my hands there and I coughed.
Yeah, see? Excellent. Yay, Rose. Thank you for that feedback. Really appreciate hearing that. Did anybody have any questions about anything? I know I went through a lot of stuff. This is like a power course here.
You'll want to save this in your watch later, so you can go back through all the pinpoints and maybe write them down. Just like she was talking about with the other hand.
Yeah. Just take, draw the.
Hang on, I'm gonna
bring it up quicker.
I'm gonna take that out, and then I'm going to switch us around. There we go.
See, so that just gives you a basic idea. And all organs, and it also does the diaphragm and the umbilicus. I have so many iterations of this hand chart that I've written, because you're going to find out it's related to numbers and colors and all kinds of things. So I just wanted to give you guys the idea that no great artistry is required. Just trace your own hand, and
it's nothing to. If a 5-year-old can do it, we can do it.
I hope so. Then again, I don't know.
That's about the extent of my ability to draw and stuff, is 5-year-old level. Definitely pre-K or kindergarten level.
There's nothing wrong with that, But like I said, using these safety energy locks, holding them. Even if you look at that chart, there's another exercise that people do, that they look at the diagram that has all the safety energy locks, all 26 of them. Well, there's actually 52, because there's 26 on the back of the body and 26 on the front of the body, or on either side of the body, sorry. But you can start, hold safety energy lock 1. And then you can go and move to safety energy lock too. There's going to be some like in your upper middle back that you're not going to be able to reach, but you can like imagine if they were coming through the front of your body and place your hands where they would be on the front of your body. But that's a whole nother meditation or a way to help yourself, help keep your whole system harmonized every day. I'm so glad you like this, Lauren, because I just, for me,
I know
because,
you can't see chat, so I just want to, as I'm
yeah,
seeing little comments, I'm wanting to put them up
yes,
just so
please, I
you can see the
appreciate it.
feedback on it.
I appreciate it. You know, our body has 144,000 functions, okay? And each finger does
That's what you feel
10,000.
like. Yeah, turkey.
Yep, that's right, that turkey dance. Da 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 da. And you could, that's another thing that's actually, you know, that turkey dance where you put your thumbs in the armpit and your fingers come forward? Placing your thumbs in the
Yeah,
armpit like
like
that
this.
is, especially for women, is really good for cleaning out that lymphatic system and keeping that area clear, you know, worrying about, you know, breast cancer issues and things like that.
And
So
then
this
if you
is
flap your
actually,
arms, you're getting
you
some
can, you
exercise.
can, you can strut around the neighborhood. And you can tell them, I am jumper cabling myself and harmonizing myself. But, you know,
And just hope the neighbors don't call the funny farm to come get you.
if they do,
I'm
you just
sure
start
my
talking
neighbors
Jin Shin
already
Jyutsu
think
then.
I'm some crazy loon because every twice a month I'm outside with my incense sticks smudging all the windows and everything from the outside because I can't burn it inside because my brother's allergic to it. And
Oh,
so I have to go outside and I'll, like do little protection stuff
yeah.
around all the windows and the door. And I'm sure the neighbors are like, what is that wild woman doing over there?
Well, I sprinkle salt like on certain times at the moon, you know, and or all the way around my house, and I always do it at night because I know they'll really think I'm crazy. But you know, they got nothing better to do than look out their window and see what I'm doing. Oh well, I must keep them very entertained.
I'm
But
telling you, I mean, it's, I do the Gikong, and I especially like to do it most of the time before a show, especially if I don't back myself in the corner like today and running late on everything. But just to go outside and do the movements and the stretches on the
mhm.
patio outside, I just do better if I'm outdoors. It's something about me and being outside,
Oh yeah,
and I'm sure the neighbors are like, "What the hell is that woman doing now?" She's walking around smoking everything.
that's right. Waving her arms around and being all peaceful. What? And she's breathing. Oh my
Uh,
God, she's breathing.
it's like, sometimes I think maybe I should like literally hang a shingle by the door.
Yeah,
Say psychic in house.
yeah. And tell them you're doing Jin Shin Jyutsu. They'll leave you alone. They'll wonder what the hell is that.
Yeah, exactly. They'll just hear jitsu and think, oh God, she can beat us up.
Yeah.
They'll naturally think it's the martial art, not something else.
That's right. That's right. But you can wave your arms around like, you know, scare them off. But no, this is not it's not at all related to martial arts. It's actually very peaceful and it's, you know, it's all
Yeah,
about
that's my brother's
harmonizing.
department. He's the one with the black belt. So black salt. I don't understand what that's in reference to, Rose. Black salt, was it maybe something? Oh, you said you sprinkle salt.
Salt. I use kosher salt, but you know, a lot of times these like the black salt and that gets more expensive. So I
Yeah,
understand there was a reason for it being kosher, but I can't remember what it was at the moment. Um,
I know
but
usually if I work anything with salt, I get rock salt or um, sea salt
yeah,
because it's supposed to be more organic. It doesn't have as many chemicals added to it
I
or
get this
something like that. So,
I get
yeah,
this stuff that comes in a bag, and I get it from the health food store, and it's called Redmond's, Redmonds, I think. And it's a salt. It's expensive, but like if I'm using it, you know, to eat it salt, it's really got a lot more benefit to it than, you know, like your what was it with Morton's, you know, the one with the
yeah,
little girl in the raincoat or the umbrella. When it
right.
rains, it pours. It's really good salt. So that's something people might want to try. You know, might be easier on their system. So did we want to do some cards, or did people have questions, or where are we at with them?
Well, I only had one question, and that was Dean had asked one at the very beginning, back before I said we weren't going to do questions today.
That's okay. Well,
But
yeah.
Dean, are you still here? If you're still here, we will do your question, darling. And
Well, other people might get benefit from it anyway, even if,
yeah, I mean,
or maybe he'll watch it back.
he can always, yeah, watch it back later on. And let's see, I don't know, he may not be here anymore, but let's see here. Have I been? Oh, I want to know if he's met his twin flame yet. Well, okay. Allison said, yeah, it's a mined salt. It's salt mined in Utah underground. It's uncontaminated and full of extra minerals. So
excellent. It's probably more
that's
expensive
good to
than
know. So
more expensive than probably what I would want to sprinkle around my house, but you could use it indoors in a smaller quantity. But that's just me,
yeah. And then we have Miss Annie in the chat, says Redmond salt is great. So
okay, so she knows what I'm
somebody
talking about.
knows of it. I'd never heard of it before, but we got somebody in here that knows what it is. Is it iodized? I think not.
Let me while you're pulling cards, I'll grab mine, see if I can. I've got it handy here.
Let's see.
It's unrefined mineral salt. Let's see here. Is it okay if I show it on your?
I don't see why not.
Okay. It comes in a bag like this, and it's got a little spout thing. They also go by real salt. It says ancient fine sea salt, perfect for everyday use, unrefined mineral salt. Made in America, so that's another good thing. I think it was like $7 or $8 for this bag, and it's about 26 ounces.
That's not too bad. I mean, that looks like a pretty hefty sized bag. It would take me 6 months to a year to use that much salt.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's not like I have a problem. I can't taste salt, so I don't cook with it, because if I cook for it to my taste, then nobody else can eat it. So I add my salt after the fact.
Exactly. And it's from Redmond, Utah, from an ancient deposit. Of course,
yeah, that's what Allison was saying. That it was it's mined directly out of the earth from Utah,
and it does not
full of minerals. Yeah,
it does not have iodine.
Yeah, so it's not iodized.
So, and some people need the iodine from their salt, so you need to be aware of that for your own.
Again, before you go trying anything new, talk to your doctor first. Make sure, especially if you take medications, you don't want to try to change up anything in your diet or what you do that might have a reaction to medications you take.
Right. Well, so, and just as Jin Shin Jyutsu will not interfere with medications or any medical procedures, but don't use that and said, oh, I can do this. I don't need to have my heart checked or something. Don't be silly. Use your common sense. You guys are all smart out there. You know what we mean.
That's it. Okay, well, Dean, if you do pop back in and watch this later, what I pulled for you was from the Rose Oracle. The first one I pulled was We Are Nature. And it talks about becoming grounded, living in connection. So I would think that the more grounded you become, the more you connect with spirit, the closer you'll come to finding who your twin flame is. They just may not be ready yet. So it might be a process. Or maybe you're not ready yet. I mean, we each move at our own pace. And then the other card I drew was called the Rose Thread. It says an inner call, soul-led, living courageously. So again, it's talking about from your soul. You know, you're pushing from your soul there what you're looking for, your twin flame. And I think for everybody that's going to be a little different depending on where you are at this point in your life. So if anybody would like to have a destiny card read, we just need your birth month and your birth date, not the year, just the month and the day. And you can pop it in there and we can pull a card on it. And
I
hi,
pulled a card.
Shockwave. Oh, we got more tornadoes already happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pulled a card
Bye,
for
T
Dean.
Barb. Have a good evening.
Bye, T Barb. For Dean, I pulled card 44. Excuse me. You will manifest what you need. Express excuse me, my throat's funny today. Allergies. Express gratitude as if your plans have already come to pass. Trust that your angels are bringing you the assistance you need. So, you know, just keep doing your thing, shining your light, and sooner or later it'll come through. But you know how divine timing is. It's got its own, our time isn't the same as what spirit might think for us. So
there we go. Okay, let's see. Our first birth date we got up here is Shockwave, April 14th.
Okay, Shockwave. What do we got?
Hi, Jessar. Jessree.
Okay, you're gonna get out your betting money again?
Oh boy. Don't tell me we got a diamond.
Yep. April 14th, the 7 of diamonds, victory through faith, attitude of gratitude, having a love or money conflict, and your challenge is having balanced values. So not being too focused on money, of course, 7 is a spiritual card. So here we go with the diamonds.
I pulled the Mystic Rose, which talks about compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, grace. These are all the characteristics of the Mystic Rose, which if the 7 of diamonds is a spiritual card, this goes right along with it there.
Very nice.
All right, let's see. Next up is Teresa T, October 30th.
Okay, Teresa, we have for you someone close to my heart. Your same card as me. 5 of Hearts. Emotional movement, change, separation, restlessness, adventure, opportunity, and travel. And your challenge is responsibility in emotions. So
very good.
This is somebody who, might change partners more often, or, go from one relationship to another relationship. Lots of changes. 5s are about changes. So
there you go. I pulled Rapture. And it says sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, pleasure. So all of these things that can cause rapture in a person.
Ooh la la, those cards go together.
That's it. I mean, from your multiple companions to absolute rapture. Okay, let's see. Miss Annie is next. July 17th.
Okay. For Annie, we have, I just always double check and make sure, the Jack of Clubs, mental inspiration, successful ideas through revelation, curious, independent, creative mind. And the challenge is cultivating mental balance. So this is, the Jacks are youthful, someone who's more on the youthful thinking side. It doesn't matter your actual number age, but.
Right. And I pull the Mystic Rose again. That came up for you. Compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, grace. So that, again, they kind of coincide together there.
Very good.
All right, let's see. Next up, we got Heather.
Hey, Heather. All right.
December 6th.
Again, we're pulling them, this is the card for your birthday. There's one card for each day of the year, except for January 31st. And if that's when your birthday is, then you're the Joker card and you get to choose to be any card in the deck you want. And you can change it too.
That's kind of
So,
cool.
yeah. So for Heather, we've got the Queen of Clubs, intuitive knowledge, knowledge from source, listen to your inner voice, receptive. And your challenge is having disregard for your own feelings. So, if you're always putting everybody's feelings ahead of your own, um, this can bring you some unhappiness. So focus on yourself, make yourself happy, and the rest will follow.
Okay, and I pulled the Return. A new story, you decide. Alignment, it's all coming together. And you're going to know what that means. So let's see here. Okay. Rose Blue is next.
Okay, she's the Lion's Gate 8-8.
Oh, wow.
Powerful day.
That is a powerful day.
Got your betting money again?
Oh, let me guess. A diamond?
Yeah, that's right. The 5 of Diamonds. Fluctuation in values, a business journey, change in finances or sales. And your challenge is accountability. So this is somebody whose their money situation tends to fluctuate in and out, up and down,
Oh, and I pulled the Fertile Void. And that says inner writer, rest, patience, potency, secret beginnings.
Ooh, secret beginnings.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Maybe she's got a secret nest egg she's starting with her money.
There you go. Yeah. Something we got to all start doing that.
Yeah, definitely. And 8-8, that's a very powerful day. That's one of the most powerful days of the whole year for manifesting. And
yeah, that's what I've heard.
I did a whole video on that. That's in my playlist that somebody might want to check out if that's something.
Well, you see there. So, and the link to Juno's channel is below. And I believe Sharon and a couple of the others have put it in the chat. So,
thank you so much, everybody.
Bora Bora is next, February 22nd.
Here we go. Another diamond, the 3 of Diamonds. Creative finances, having money concerns, financial uncertainty, and your challenge is reliance upon others. So maybe because you're tending towards having that uncertainty, you tend to rely on others more than maybe what's healthy for you. So this doesn't mean that you can't overcome these things. Some cards have a little more challenge, just like some astrology signs have different challenges in different areas. But
and I pull for you the Anointed. And that one says, answer the call, leadership, empowerment, soul gifts.
Nice.
So there you go. All right. Next up is Jess Reed, January 3rd.
Okay. And we got to keep it a little short today. I've got a commitment after this. So.
Yeah, we just went over an hour. We're like an hour and 3 minutes here. So maybe another 10 minutes. That'd be good with you?
Yeah, about 10 minutes. And then, we'll be back again in 2 weeks. So.
Oh, yeah. Every other Sunday, we're going to be on here doing this. So we're going to do a little on the Jin Shin Jyutsu, like the next steps up to learn. And then we're going to do some cards. So.
Yeah, and then next time, because I talked a lot about it this time, if people have questions that they want to put on your community page or my community page, we can address.
Or go down in the comments of this video, and you can put your questions in there, and I'll make sure that Juno gets them. And
you can also, people can email me at junosees@gmail, SEES, JUNOSEES@gmail if they want a reading or have questions or whatever. So.
Exactly. It's all down in the description box below. So. Okay.
So Jess's card is the Jack of Spades, revelation through labor, new path, initiation, ambition, spiritual awareness, and creativity. So the challenge is this is the one-eyed Jack, and you can have a tendency to be immature and need to be in control all the time. So that's just pointing out things for you to work on if you find that that's something that's an issue for you in your relationships.
And I pulled for you Code of Seeds, SEEDS. The blueprint is within you. Take the next step.
Ooh.
So it's all
like that. That's like that acorn in the oak thing I was talking about with the heart.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
the same.
Okay, let's see. Who was the next one? Was Annabelle. It's
Annabelle.
September 27th. Hi, Metatron's Wing. And okay.
So for Annabelle, September 27th, we have the 10 of Hearts, the Promoters card, recognition in groups, social partying, being independent, and your challenge is being self-seeking. So that's a powerful card that, you know, how the 10s are always like, you know, the end of the cycle, like the apex of the cycle, and all those hearts. So this is somebody that's probably pretty, I would say, you know, popular and sociable. And
oh, Rose Blue said she just got a lottery ticket. Well, honey, if you win, share the wealth.
I want new dollars.
I need a new car. So, okay, Annabelle, I pulled for you. Held, Held, says sureness of the soul. Wait a minute. Sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, community.
Wow.
That's
Unseen
pretty
support.
good. To go
Yeah.
with a heart, that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Those are some great cards.
Let's see who was next. Is Library.
Oh, I like
Hi,
that.
Library. Welcome to the show.
Yeah,
You're a new name. Thank you for coming. April 1st.
I like your name. That's very
I do
cool.
too. That's cool.
Very clever. So for April 1st, April Fool's Day, we have the 7 of Spades, spiritual lifestyle. You might be accident prone, having body karma, have a fearless attitude with work or health, and your challenge is having your inner strength recognized.
And I pulled the second bloom, which states a second chance. It's never too late. New possibilities.
There you go. Well, this is one of the most spiritual cards in the deck, I would say, because spades are a lot about this, you know, the more spiritual suit, and the 7 is the spiritual number. So that's a very powerful spiritual card. No
Very
wonder
much
he or she has that name, Library. That really is.
I love the avatar.
I know. It makes you just want to
That's
walk right
gorgeous.
into it. Very cool.
All right. Next up, we got Metatron's Wing, July 21st.
Okay.
Let's see.
Metatron's Wing. Well, this is appropriate. The 7 of Clubs, intuitive power, faith, hope, and trust. Let go of pessimism. And the challenge is the need to enlighten the mind.
Boy, sorry, I was reading the chat and not shuffling my cards. Give me a second here.
So 7.
You're welcome to all the thank yous that are coming back, saying thank you for the readings.
Oh, you're welcome.
Heather said to Juno, it sounds just like me.
Very good. Excellent. Yeah.
All
So
right.
the 7 is the spiritual number. Again, I was just going to point out, in the clubs are the mental part. So you might be a little more like, maybe you read more about spiritual stuff than practice it, you know, or maybe that's your comfort zone. So just kind of different ways to look at it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on your.
Nope, that's all right, because it looks like this is our last one anyway. So the thorn is what I pulled for you, Metatron's ring. Wing, not ring. I'm sorry, my mouth isn't working. Protection, boundaries, clear communication. Something I haven't been very good at today.
You're doing fine.
It's just been one of them weekends, man. What can I say? And all right, that's everybody we've got. We'll be back in 2 weeks, every other Sunday at 4:30 Central. So if you already had your birthday done and you would like to get your spouse's birthday, or a friend or a parent or a child, you could always, ask their permission first, just so the energy is clear. And if they don't mind, if you get a reading on them, we can certainly pull a card, and Juno will pull a destiny card and let you know what it says, and I'll pull an oracle card to go with it and just kind of balance it out. And Metatron says I'm a paraglider.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. That's kind of cool. I've never done that. I'm
I don't like heights.
don't know if I could.
Yeah. I have a hard enough navigating being on the ground and being that close to gravity. So
Yeah, so
I wanted to jump out of a plane one time when I lived up by Sedona, but I knew my legs wouldn't handle the landing. That was,
yeah, I know my son did some skydiving when he was in Hawaii, when he was stationed in Hawaii. Um, and he was talking about how much fun it was. And I was like, yeah, I don't think so.
yeah.
I like to fly. I like to fly in helicopters, so
No, I don't
I
like
like
to
the
fly.
feeling of being in the air, but they'd have to push me out the door.
Yeah.
I'm not jumping. I'm sorry.
No,
Unless the plane is on fire.
that's right.
Yeah.
Well,
And even then, it would be an iffy decision.
yeah, I'm with you. I encourage everybody to just, if you can't remember all the details, just hold your fingers every day. Start with your thumb, work out
Yeah.
to the
There
pinky
you
on
go.
one hand, and then go to the thumb, and then work out to the pinky on the other hand. And before you know it, you'll all be harmonized.
There you go. And
You
we'll
know,
be
like,
back in 2 weeks. And like I said, every other Sunday at 4:30 Central. We'll go through some of the next steps to learn for the Jin Shin Jyutsu, and we'll do some destiny cards and oracle cards. So line up your birthdays that you want to know on and show back up, and we'll take care. If there's anything you missed that you're not quite sure what we said, or maybe you missed the first 15 minutes or something, the show will be, you can go in and watch a replay. Kindly leave a comment if you don't mind. It helps the algorithm. It helps to boost the channel, even if it's nothing more than just a thumbs up. Just anything. If you leave a comment, it helps. So, y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you, Ms. Juno, for another lovely day.
my
And
pleasure. And I'm available for private readings. You can just just send me an email. I still haven't got the calendar thing figured out, but you can send me an email and we'll figure something out.
there you go. And same with me. Everything's in the description box below. If you're interested in a reading, just drop me an email saying reading, please, and we'll take it from there. And
thank you so much, Sherry, for
I
having
don't
me
think
on.
I
I'm
have
so
anything
excited.
else planned until Wednesday night, which is Sisters of the Mystical Tarot with Val and Marina and Allie and Heather and Ivana and Allison. And did I say 7 of us? I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. I always feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Anyway, there's 7 of us.
Thank you for
We
having me
meet
on,
every
Sherry.
Wednesday. So
I'm
thank you all for
excited
coming.
I'm excited to be working with you, Sherry. I appreciate
I'm
it so
excited to
much.
be working with you too. This is great. So y'all have a lovely, lovely remaining of your weekend. Enjoy the last week of March. And because what is it? Next Saturday is April Fool's Day. So
Yeah.
get those pranks ready.
We'll see you guys in April. See you next month.
See you in April. That's right. See you next month. So y'all take care.
Bye.
Bye for now.